Hi guys, it's Darlene from Couture. We're going to do a simple little sign tonight. I'm going to show you from start to finish exactly how you use these silk screen transfers. These are from Couture. They come in a plastic sleeve like this. You're going to open it up and you're going to pull the transfer out. On the back here are instructions that will help guide you on how to use your transfers. So save that, you're going to use that. Our silk screen transfers are reusable. These are like a stencil but different because they have a silk screen in them. So they are silk screen transfers. You can see that there is a silk screen right there, and if you had this if this was just a stencil, you would simply have an open area. So these are sticky on the back also. It's going to stick to your project and adhere so that your chalk paste does not go underneath it and leak and make you have blurry letters like a lot of stencils do that. So I am just getting the edge loose, and I like to fold my corners under. Then when I go to pull this, it's easy. It's very easy to pull that off there. On the back, I'm going to write an X. This is going to tell me do not put my transfer back onto that. You're going to put this onto the glossy side. There's a glossy side and there's a matte side. And this is our surface that we're going to use. I bought this at Michael's tonight. This was $2. So you don't have to spend a lot on your surfaces. You could cut out a piece of wood and paint it. I just thought these were really cute. I'll probably go pick up a bunch more because I thought that's a great price. I'll see how this goes. This is a size A transfer. That's the smallest size. We have an A, B, C, and a D, and they're priced accordingly. So because this is a non-Couture surface, we are going to wax it. We are using Howard's Premium Paste Wax. This is from Home Depot. You're simply going to wipe some onto your surface, spread it around. It doesn't take much. You're going to wipe it off. You're going to take a paper towel and you're going to wipe off even more. So you're just making sure that there's a little bit of a barrier in between your surface and your transfer. You don't want it to stick. You can see that the paint on this or something, some of it came off, which is fine. Now is the time for this to happen. I'm going to put that paper towel to the side. I use a lot of paper towels. So now we're going to get our chalk paste ready. When you open your chalk paste, you're going to see that sometimes it has separated. So I see there's some stuff from the lid on there. So I am stirring this, and I used this recently, so it is the right consistency. I used this morning, so you do not need to add water to this one. It needs to be the consistency of sour cream or yogurt. And that one is our Couture Coral. This is Couture Teal. So this one I used recently also. If it was too thick, you would simply spritz a couple of sprays of water in there with a water bottle and then just continue to stir. Like I say, you want it to be the consistency of sour cream or yogurt. If it's too thick, it won't go through your silk screen. So we're just gonna dust that off. And this is a brand new transfer. So we're gonna peel it from our backer sheet and we're gonna do what is called fuzzing. So fuzzing is simply putting your transfer onto a towel or your t-shirt and getting a little bit of the sticky off. So we're just doing this one time. This is our fuzzing towel. The other side has a soft, kind of like a baby blanket feel. The side that you want to do it on is more like a terry cloth feel. We are going to get this centered on here and press out all the air bubbles. Now right up here, this is really close to the edge, and I'm going to take some blue painter's tape and just put a little bit right up there, because I'm pretty sure that when I go to spread that, it's going to go off the edge. So I don't need a lot, and it wouldn't be a big deal, but this jute is right there, and I don't want the jute to get the chalk paste on it. The chalk paste would come off of the board, but it would not come off of the jute. So we're just going to protect it just like that. So we have our two colors, and what I decided to do was the Couture Coral is going to be Got, and the Couture Teal is going to be all the other. So it was really hard. I thought about 3 colors, but see how this blends together? I did not want to have to deal with where do I divide my colors. So think about that when you're choosing your colors. See how this Y kind of swirls around and it becomes part of the T and the H. So that's just a decision that I made. So I think what I will do is I will spoon on some of the Couture Coral first, and we're going to leave it thicker. We're not going to squeegee it off. We're just going to put some on there first to just get that on there. And we're just going to leave it thicker. And then I'm going to get the Couture Teal on there, and then we'll remove the excess of this. So you can use your lid to just put your little squeegees there. That is our mini squeegee. This is our small squeegee. We have a 4-inch handled squeegee, and then we have the multi-tools, which have a little pointy end and an end that you can clean your jars with. So we have several. So you're just going to spread this, and be careful not to get it into the coral, because you don't want to contaminate your colors and blend your colors together. So you're just going to spread it through here. Then we're going to take off the excess. The excess is going to go back into the jar. So sorry if my hand's in the way. Being left-handed is not always the best. Okay, so now I'm going to start scraping it. And all of this extra is going to go back into my jar. And I can see that I have this all down into my transfer, but I can see a little bit of the screen right there. So I know that I need to go back and I need to do that. So now is your chance to do that and make sure that it is all the way down into the screen. Otherwise, the letters just simply won't be there. So I'm going to put that there, put my squeegee here, and then we're going to squeegee off the coral. And you want to do this quickly so that you can pull your transfer before the chalk paste dries on the transfer. You can't sit and fuss over it, you just have to do it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull this. I'll take the blue painter's tape off. I can see right up here when I removed that I did not get that corner. Just going to quickly do that. And now is the time to check this out as we're peeling it. Make sure that it looks okay. You're going to peel from top to bottom or side to side. Never diagonally or it will stretch it. All right. Yay. And the letters on Got are supposed to be like that. So then this is going to go into our water bath. I'm going to show you how to clean that. And I see that I must have stuck my finger in it right here. This is water soluble, so I am just going to take a tiny bit of water with my paper towel, and I'm going to wipe that in there also. And then I'm going to just dry it. You can use a Q-tip, but I just happen to have a paper towel in my hand. So my sign is done. Look how easy that was. So I'm going to set this to the side while we clean up. I just want to show you how easy it is to make a fun little sign. That would be great to put on someone's desk to give them inspiration. A little gift. Somebody that's having a hard time. Just something fun. So what you're going to do, I'm going to move my fuzzing cloth so I don't get that all dirty. You put your transfer into a container of water. We call that a water bath. You're giving it a little bath. You swish it around, and then you're going to clean it. So you can have a large container, you can have a cookie sheet, you can have a cake pan, you can have a Tupperware container, or a full sink of water, whatever works for you. I just wanted to show you, to give you a little demo here. So you're going to wipe the front, and you set this on a non-stick surface like your counter, or this is a baking sheet. So you're going to wipe the front with a Clorox wipe. So this is just simply Clorox disinfecting wipes. Then you're going to wipe the front with a paper towel to kind of dry that. Lift it up and wipe underneath. Flip it over and wipe the back. And this is just my process. Other people do it a little differently. This did curl up a little bit. That tells me that I probably should have fuzzed it one more time or waxed the board a little bit more. It will flatten out when I put this back onto my backer sheet. It will flatten out. You can kind of dry this if you want to. And then this is going to go onto a paper towel, and it will dry. It'll be drying about 15 minutes because it's warm in here. Once it is dry, it will go back onto the backer sheet. Remember the backer sheet that we took it off of and we put the X on the back? We're going to put it back onto the shiny side as soon as it's dry. So then we're going to take our tools here. These are our squeegees. They're going to go into the water. Our chalk paste is water soluble. We're going to take, and I see that I have some of my Couture teal right there. So now is the time to fix that. Get a paper towel. Get that off of there so it doesn't contaminate your color. So that happened when I was squeegeeing it. So pay attention. Try not to do that, but I saved it. So you're going to take your little stir sticks and you're going to scrape the edge. You're always going to have little dried crusty things that just happen as it's sitting there. So I'm scraping the edge and just putting that back into the center of this. Okay. So then I'm going to take my water bottle. I'm going to put one little spray in there, two little sprays, and I'm going to do the same with this. I'm just scraping this. You want to get all that back down. These things are bendy. I have flipped them on myself. I've actually let go one day and it splattered me. So be careful. These are our little stir sticks. They're really bendy. All right, so your goal is to I'm wiping myself with the Clorox wipe. Your goal is to get all the little crusty things back down in there. Then you're going to take a paper towel and we're going to wipe the edges before we put the lids back on. So spray your paper towel, wipe the rim, and then you can put your lid on. So do this so that it doesn't stick on there. It'll make it a lot easier to open those jars. And so I'm just taking another part of that paper towel that does not have anything on it. It's wet. And I'm just wiping the rim of this jar. I'm going to put my lid back on. I'm going to clean my tools. I'm just showing you guys because I think that it's important to know the basics. Because you're going to do this, and the more times you see it over and over, you're going to remember. So I'm just simply wiping this off with my fingers, just swishing it around. Going to put these onto a paper towel to dry. You don't need soap. It is water soluble. It will come off with just rubbing it with your fingers. You really don't want to get soap in there and get soap into your chalk paste. That probably would not be good for it. Okay, so this is going to go into my sink. These guys, I usually just go like this and voila, they're dry. So these are ready for in the morning when I do my live. Just set them to the side. I always clean up all my stuff. I take the time to do that. Believe it or not, in between every project, I do this. I clean my area. I make sure that I do my jars. If I'm going to use a jar, then I will set it to the side. And sometimes I'll clean it and reopen it. I actually have a container. Let me show you this. This is pretty cool. So if you were using the same color, you could put it in here and have it open and just have your little stir stick in it and then close it. I've done this before where I had several colors I was going to use again, and I put them into this airtight container and then cleaned everything else, and then when I went on to my next project, I was able to just take them out. So you can think about those things. That's a helpful hint. Also, sometimes when I'm prepping a project and I know that, hey, I'm going to get everything ready, I'm going to get all my jars out, and then I got to do something else first though, I'll put them in there and then I don't have to worry about them crusting over. So anyways, guys, thank you for joining me. Remember, it is just step by step. It's very easy. You've got this. See you tomorrow.